2025 is gonna be my year of balance. That means I will work as hard as I can on all of my projects while also not getting as close to burnout as I was already in 2024. I'm such an ambitious person and I want to do everything there is, whether it's my creative projects or traveling or working. There's just so many things to be done, and you can only put so many in a life. Last year, I moved to a new city, and then I started and partly finished all of these huge projects, which were like my novel and a short film, but also this YouTube channel, for example. And while I love to do all of these things, it's taken a toll on my mental health. I started therapy in August because I decided that I was too close to a burnout, and yet whenever I told myself to slow down and take things easy, I would feel super guilty about it. This year, I don't really want to cut back on any projects. I just want to learn how to manage them while also using my free time in a way that actually gives me some energy instead of taking even more. And there's just a few ways to do this. What I already started last year was I cooked healthy for myself almost every day, which is great and a great way to start to fuel my body. And I picked up journaling, which helps me get everything going on here down onto paper each morning. And in the same time, I also practice gratitude, and in the morning I listen to affirmations, which is a pretty solid base layer. I used to say that I had a good sleeping rhythm and I felt really productive because I woke up at 5 in the morning every day, but actually it was only healthy in the beginning of the year, and then slowly but surely I went from going to bed at 9 to 10 to 11, but I still stood up at 5, and then I would wonder why I'm crashing, why my energy is crashing during the day. Like after lunch, I would not be able to do anything. Like the best case would be to write some emails. And I didn't really realize because my bedtime was still set at 9. I just laid in bed and played on my phone for some reason. I don't know, maybe my brain wanted the dopamine. I don't know. But I'm getting better at that again. So that's number one for 2025 improvements. And what I have picked up and what I'm sure is the greatest asset for this year is meditation. I use an app called Medito and it's great. Actually, this video isn't sponsored, but I use it every day because there are so many free meditations on there. There's no paid version and there's no ads, which I absolutely love because if I want to be mindful and calm, I do not want to bother with any ads or premium memberships or whatever. I think this should be something that's free for all of us. And I guess people tell us to meditate every day, and I guess that can have a huge impact on our mental health. Studies show that this is one of the best things we can do for ourselves. But I get that some days are just stressful and there's just bad days where you don't feel like doing anything, or where work is more important, or you have family struggles. Whatever it is, I feel like meditation is a tool and not something that should add extra pressure. So while I try to incorporate at least a few minutes of meditation each day, if I don't manage, I don't blame myself. And if I realize, like at work, there's a really important meeting coming up and I'm just overthinking it from 8 in the morning until that meeting at 2 in the afternoon, I will most likely do a meditation in the morning somewhere. I don't know, at 10. I'll just take a short break, sit in a quiet space and calm down. And it helps so much, like you wouldn't realize. And the first, 20 days of me doing this, I was sitting there and I was like, those 10 minutes never end. Like they're so long. And now this, I don't think I'm as calm as when doing a meditation. I guess that's the point of it. But there's only sleep and meditation that gives me the same amount of calm and of not overthinking, because that's what I do a lot. And that's also where all of my stress comes from, because I don't just focus on the task at hand, whether that's recording a video or writing an email or cooking a meal. Whatever it is, I'm always going through my mental to-do list. There's still so many things to do or that I want to do, and it's really bad for me actually. So being present and being mindful is just the thing that has saved me in all of January, because I don't get any less done. It's just that I listen to my body and I realize, like, I'm just, editing this video, but my mind is thinking about the 100 other things that I have to do, and I'm focused, but I'm also super stressed, even though the deadline is still 2 weeks ahead. Or I put the deadline on myself, even worse, because I think, okay, I have to publish a video every 2 weeks, or I have to get my writing project done by the end of the month. And nobody tells me to. I'm just doing that to myself, And so meditation is my way to calm back down and to realize things are not as bad. My deadlines are flexible, actually. Most of them are really flexible. And actually, everything is not as bad as I think it is. So being mindful, being present, all of these things are going to help me in 2025. And on top of that, I am a rather active person now, which would surprise anybody who has known me as a child, because I was lazy. I did not want to move. And now I genuinely enjoy sports. But I also realized that I cannot push myself every day. Last year, I was really intense about this. Also, it was on my agenda, like 5 days, 6 days a week. And not only was it a complete 180 for my body, but also it added pressure. And some days actually you just don't feel like going to the gym. And nowadays I have other things like dance classes and Pilates, which helps a lot. But some days I don't feel like doing a leg day, and instead I stretch. And that's something that I realize when I stretch in the morning. Like, I still get up around 5 and then I go to the gym, or if I really don't feel like it because it's like 2 degrees outside and raining, then I'll have my yoga mat here and I'll lay down and I do 10-15 minutes of stretching. And it's so good. Then I only feel like how stiff my body is from sleeping all night, just like barely turning around. And it's so good. And also before sleeping, it would be something good to do. I'm still working on it, not doing it yet. That is something to incorporate for me too. Also during the day, if I have been standing a lot or sitting a lot, I will just get up and move. Even if I just stretch some things, you can do them at your desk, just like stretch your neck and whatever that hurts. And I guess that's what I'm trying to do. It's just like gentle movement, whether that's walking, because I like that too, put on a podcast and walk, or do some sort of stretching where I can just decide what I feel like, where I want to move. I did follow some instructions in the beginning, but now I know different poses and just what I want to do and what my body needs, and that's just great. At the same time, I have a vision board for this year and I want to do so many things, and I have so many applications open and festivals and writing things that I cannot tell you more about. If you see my vision board now, you will realize that in the middle there is this huge picture of a woman sitting and meditating, and that's how I want to be. It's just like balanced, and there's so many things to do, yet I feel compelled to slow down and to actually use the downtime that I have, yes, for my creative projects, but also for genuinely enjoying life. Now I'm curious what your word for 2025 will be. If you want to let me know, please comment down below. I read all of my comments, and if you like talks like this, I'm trying to record more of them. I did the Nathaniel Drew Skillshare Challenge where I recorded myself like 10 days in a row, and I'll see whatever of this I will publish and what I will not. In general, I post this series called Big Sister Chats where I just chat about anything that comes to my mind, problems and struggles and life advice, and telling you about everything I have known or lived through so far. So if you have any topics on your mind that you would like to talk about, also comment them down below and I'll pick them up in a future video. Until then, take care. Bye. It was good. I like that one. So chill.